State government to institute attitudinal evaluation award for nurses. And Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs sensitizes people on Dakada initiative. Details of this and more shortly. A very good morning to you and welcome to KBC 45 News at Dawn. I am Blessing Isonwu. The Akwa Ibom Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has ordered a rerun of the governorship election in 18 local government areas of the state. The tribunal chairman, Justice Umar, while delivering the judgment on the petition brought before it by the All Progressive Congress APC governorship candidate, Mr. Umano Konumana, ordered the Independent National Election Commission to conduct the rerun due to some discrepancies in the affected local government areas. The House of Assembly has mandated its Committee on Judiciary, Justice, Human Rights and Public Petitions to invite the Commissioner for Lands and Town Planning and his counterpart in the Ministry of Works to explain issues surrounding non-payment of compensation to people whose property were affected by road construction projects in Akwa Ibom State. The committee, according to a directive by the Speaker, Elder Anekanuko, should submit its report to the House in 2 weeks. Chris Nkan was in the House of Assembly chambers for the following report.
The resolution followed a matter of urgent public importance presented by the Deputy Chief Whip and member representing Ona State Constituency, Otue Gongsesian, based on a petition on non-payments of compensation by property owners on the Utu Etimekwo Iwukem Road. He told the House that compensation had not been paid to owners of property which were destroyed in the course of constructing the road since 2010. Otue Gongsesian argued that there must have been provision for compensation for those affected before construction started and prayed for commissioners of works as well as lands and town planning to be invited to the House to throw more light on the issue. After moving for the matter to be accepted and deliberated upon by the House, Mr. Mark Esset, representing Nsalata State Constituency, said it was disheartening that some of the victims had died of frustration, as not only houses but also businesses were lost. Mr. Lawrence Udofa, representing Eket State Constituency, urged that the matter and such other issues be referred to the Committee on Public Petitions to galvanize all so as not to delay the process of development. Mr. Osoro Agbanuso, representing Esreket Ibono State Constituency, observed that no government undertakes road construction without considering compensation to those to be affected. He said there was need for the investigation as such provisions could have been made by the then government. On his part, Mr. Udwak Udodo, representing Ikorabasi Eastern Bolo State Constituency, said it was wrong for property destroyed 5 years ago not to be compensated for. The Speaker, Elder Anyekanudo, said that Akwa Ibom people look up to the House of Assembly as the last resort for resolution of grieving issues and that the House will not fail the people who elected them.
The Honourable Commissioner for Lands and Town Planning and the Honourable Commissioner for Works and Transport, we should appear before this Honourable House so that we can, by way of communicate to them to appear.
In another case of urgent public importance brought before the floor of the House, Engineer Otto Bongdem, representing Nkpareni State Constituency, spoke of the deplorable state of the once famous Community Technical College, Ikorakata. He said the school has technically collapsed, and unless something urgent is done, the solution to the middle-level manpower problem will continue to elude Akwa Ibom State. Speaking on the matter, Barrister Imeokon, representing Ibionibom State Constituency, said the issue should be approached holistically by accommodating all dilapidating educational institutions.
Of all the schools and public buildings in that constituency that are begging for renovation to forward them to government proper attention,
The Speaker referred the matter to the Committee on Education and urged members to forward lists of institutions affected in their constituencies for onward submission to the Executive. Chris Nkang reporting.
The state government is to initiate and institute an attitudinal evaluation award for nurses in government employ to boost their commitment to duty. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Dominic Ukpong, announced this during the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives 2015 Quadrennial State Delegates Conference, Akwa Ibom State Council. Imomana reports that the delegate conference took place at Workers' Solidarity Center, NLC Secretariat at Amon Fort in Uyo.
Describing nursing as a profession that focuses on the health care needs of individuals, the Commissioner advised nurses to imbibe the spirit of kindness in the discharge of their duties. He said nurses are accountable not only to government, but God and their consciences. On the prevailing cases of improper documentation of patient records, Dr. Upang called for more proactive measure in record keeping. He emphasized that government will not jeopardize the life of any citizen to the carelessness of any nurse.
I charge you to utilize this opportunity and deliberate on more congenial ways of rendering quality, seamless, and effective healthcare delivery in the state by upholding your professional core values.
Goodwill messages were presented by NLC Chairman Comrade Mukbong, National President NAMS Abdrafiu Adeniji, represented by Comrade Mandabs Haruna, as well as Special Advisor Labor and Productivity, Mr. Ekwenyong Eyina. They called on government to review the nursing scheme of service to be in line with their counterparts in other professions. The conference featured elections into various positions in NAMS. At the end of the election, Patrick Basi Odu emerged as State Chairman, Ekaite Udwarakman, Vice Chairman, Imo Ukpong, Treasurer, Johnson Idiong, Financial Secretary, Joseph Edet Obioko, Auditor 1, Anyedi Uwemedi Imo, Auditor 2, while Anyefiok Akman is a PRO. In his acceptance speech, the State Chairman, Mr. Patrick Basi, thanked nurses for the show of love and support given him and emphasized on unity, peace and progress of the association. He pledged to be transparent in his leadership.
I have accepted the victory, and my team has also accepted the victory. And so, having said that, what do I have to say again? I need to say thank you.
In an interview, the outgoing chairman, Comrade Udeme Otong, thanked God for a successful tenure and wished his successor well.
During my tenure, we have achieved a lot, like I said earlier, a lot of increases in the welfare package of the health workers in Akwa Ibom State.
The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Victor Antai, has embarked on a tour of local government areas in the state. The Commissioner visited Ika, Etmeko, and Abak local government areas. The aim of the tour, according to the Commissioner, is to sensitize the people on the Dakada initiative and other government policies and programs. Livingstone Daniel completes the story.
The Commissioner's first point of call was Ika local government area, where he addressed the people at the council hall. He told the people that the previous administration put an end to what he termed the executive syndrome and gave the citizens of the state a voice. Mr. Antai pointed out that Udom administration is building on such legacy, hence the introduction of the Dakada spirit. The Commissioner, who was accompanied by the Permanent Secretary, Sir Marcos Enene, and other directors in the ministry, emphasized that the spirit of Dakada is that of greatness, as every Akwa Ibom person was born great. Mr. Antai encouraged the people to think, talk, and dream big in the spirit of Dakada and not to be discouraged by little limitations.
He will continue to build upon third Babionam and Yemen the spirit of Dakada and the Akwa. Dakada and the syndrome. Dakada is a spirit of greatness. Every Akwa Ibom son, every Akwa Ibom daughters, every Akwa Ibom chief, every Akwa Ibom clan head, every Akwa Ibom paramount ruler was born great.
At Atemebo local government area, the commissioners informed the people that the fall in oil price to Duma administration is placing high premium on agriculture as an avenue for revenue generation and wealth creation. He said any community that donates between 110 and 1,100 hectares of land to the state government will in turn use the land for mechanized farming for the benefit of such community.
Give us 1,400 hectares. Investors are lining up to come. Give us 1,110 hectares for industrial estate. Then we can come and situate industries, factories, whatever you call it for you.
At Aba Local Government Council Hall, the commissioner unveiled government agenda to the people. According to him, government is focusing on industrialization, infrastructural expansion, wealth and job creation, human development and empowerment. He pointed out that development cannot take place if communities are not peaceful. On the numerous chieftaincy tussle in various communities, the commissioner advised village councils to respect their norms and culture when choosing a traditional ruler to avoid incessant court cases. He said that presently the ministry is handling about 2,000 court cases, which according to him has put pressure on lean resources and personnel of the state government. In their separate responses, the chairman transition committee of the local government, Mr. McDonald Darmakos, his counterpart from Atemebo, Mr. Gosunowa, and that of Abak local government, Barrister Emmanuel Dawson, said the months of Governor Udobe Emmanuel in just 5 months in office. They in their domain and appeal for more infrastructure to be sited in their areas.
Rulers to stand up to your greatness, to stand up to what is positive, and to stand up to what is right and just. The local government area is an agrarian economy, Mr. Commissioner. I have always been contemplating on providing us with integrated farming scheme.
About NLC, His Excellency Udobe Emmanuel, it disappointed me. In fact, about the local government areas, they benefit from this government.
The commissioner and his team had earlier told Uborokara, Ikorekbene, and his areas. Livingstone Daniel report.
A call for more public awareness on the advantages of renewable energy has been advocated. The Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Iniobong Esen, made the advocacy at the 8th National Conference of Science, Technology Management and Development holding at the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikodosura, Ikodekbene. Our correspondent reports that the conference has as its theme renewable energy for sustainable development.
The Commissioner emphasized that Nigeria should begin to harness the benefits of renewable energy, which include wind, solar and water, especially with attendant disadvantages of oil exploration and exploitation. He disclosed plans by an international concern soon to birth in the state, which will require over 10 tons of waste a day to generate energy.
I want you to imagine the old people in the villages. Are they aware of what we are saying? They are not. So that takes me to something that, as the conference progresses, we must begin to think of public awareness, creating public awareness on these sources of renewable energy.
His education counterpart, who was represented by a director in the ministry, Mr. Lawrence Udofia, lauded the Department of Science Technology of the institution for its consistency in hosting the national conference. Declaring the conference open, the rector of the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Dr. Israel Afia, said apart from projecting the name of the institution, the conference will afford staff the opportunity to present papers and move up in the academic echelon. The Polytechnic, he said, is proud of the Department of Science Technology and thanked the organizers for a job well done. Dr. Afia seized the opportunity to allay fears in some quarters that the department is losing accreditation from the National Board for Technical Education, and assured that the department is ready for full accreditation.
We have not lost any program, and we will not lose any program, because this government is an education-friendly government. I want to charge other departments to borrow a lead from science.
The chairman on the occasion and managing director, Ibom Power Company Limited, Dr. Victor Udo, said balanced development should take economic and ecological impact into consideration. God, he said, has blessed Akwa Ibom State with natural gas, but that for the preservation of the environment, Nigeria should opt for renewable energy, which he said is cleaner. He challenged students of the institution and indeed the conference to research on how to harness renewable energy for sustainable development. In a lecture on the theme of the conference, Renewable Energy for Sustainable Development, a professor of food science from the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Omudike, Professor M.O. Iwe, postulated that renewable energy has infinite sustainability, cannot run out, does not pollute the environment, and records no spill, leaks, and is not contaminated.
Renewable energy is also cheaper and more economically sound than other sources of generated energy. It is estimated that as a result of renewable energy, manufacturing hundreds of thousands of stable jobs will be created. Thousands of jobs have already been created in numerous European countries like United Kingdom and Germany.
The head of the Department of Science Technology, Elder Donikwe, said a partial shift from fossil fuel to renewable energy from wind, water, sun, biomass, and geothermal sources will reduce the risk of climate change, create jobs, and foster economic growth.
The big question is, will these findings be left to gather dust in various research shelves? I appeal that government and other policy makers should help sponsor the large-scale utilization of the research findings.
Other speakers at the event included the Dean School of Applied Sciences, Mrs. Mercy Omokaso, credited to having pioneered the hosting of the conference by the Polytechnic 8 years ago, as well as the Transition Committee Chairman for Ikorikmene, Mr. Unyemaitam. The visiting team had earlier paid a courtesy visit on the rector of the Polytechnic, Dr. Israel Afia.
In line with the Central Bank of Nigeria's directive for all account holders to register and obtain bank verification numbers (BVN), the Akwa Ibom State government has called on all pensioners in the state to submit their BVN to their various sub-treasury offices. A statement by the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Anyakanumana, notes that payment of gratuities will henceforth be made to those who have complied with the BVN submission requirements. We'll take a break. When we return, we have more news for you. Stay with us.
I believe in the collective power
of you and I. Together, we can build upon existing legacies to birth the land of our dreams. Let us work as one, devoid of tribal sentiments and political differences.
Let's throw away violence
and embrace peace. Let us work with government to make Akwa Ibom an industrial hub, create employment for our youths, boost security, agriculture, and healthcare. I am you, and you are me.
We are the future.
We can make a difference. Let's come together and embrace the new Akwa Ibom, an Akwa Ibom under the leadership of our governor, Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel. For
we believe in Akwa Ibom.
Glad to have you back. A 10-member executive has been inaugurated to pilot the affairs of Keke Owners and Riders Association, KORA, in the state. It has Comrade Jeremiah Jackson as president, while Comrade Edat Bassi will serve as secretary general. The event took place at the NLC Hall at Anofort, Uyo.
The apex body of tricycle operators include Comrade Aneti Ekman Tommy, Assistant Secretary, Ndwese Udo, Treasurer. The rest are Jeremiah George Ikodim, Financial Secretary, Sunday Jacob Udo, Welfare Officer 1, Anthony Asukoibanga, Welfare Officer 2, Kingsley Boniface, Public Relations Officer, Ndweso Peter, Provost, Ini Robert Ekbo, ex-official member. In his speech, Comrade Jeremiah Jackson appreciated members of KORA for the opportunity given him to serve. He thanked them for the show of love and maturity exhibited during the election. Comrade Jackson also praised the Electoral Board for the smooth conduct of the election and assured KORA members of participatory leadership and an inclusive administration. The President also pledged to partner with the Minister of Transport for effective transport system in Akwa Ibom State. The Commissioner for Transport, Prince Godwin Tugude, represented by the Director, Land Transport Engineer Ibong, advised members of the Tricycle Union to work with the new executive members. He promised to integrate the association into the Ministry of Transport. Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission has trained and certified members of KK owners and riders as agents for human rights advocacy in the state. The state coordinator of National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Timi Ifi, while answering questions from newsmen after the event, explained that the training of tricycle operators was to license them to serve as advocates for protection, promotion, and enforcement of fundamental human rights in the state. Mr. Ifi noted that KORA members have been trained and identified to collaborate with the National Human Rights Commission to check human rights violation and report same to officials of the National Human Rights Commission.
We are not just certifying them, we are training them. After the training, we are going to certify them as human rights advocates and put stickers on their cars. Those stickers will also help in promoting the work of the commission, raising information about the presence of the commission in the state, so that people can know that there's a National Human Rights Commission office in Akwa Ibom State.
Highlight of the event was the presentation of identity cards to members of the association as well as group discussion.
The village of Ekbenikban in Nsadibom local government area was agog Saturday as it played host to the movers and shakers of Akwa Ibom politics and the Sombongi band who converged to pay their last respect to a departed woman leader and they answered the late Ataya Kwabongawan Grace Edward Nyang. AKBC News reports that the well-attended Requiem Mass was conducted in her honor by the St. Louis Catholic Parish. Mbiokoro Nsa.
The venue of the Requiem Mass in honor of the late Ataya Kwabongawan, Grace Edward Nyang, was filled to capacity with friends, relatives, and associates, especially those of the political and traditional institutions, as well as academics and religious. In his homily, Reverend Father Godfrey Ukpabio said death was an inescapable appointment that must one day be kept by all mortals. He advised Christians that rather than fear death, they should seek the path that makes death a fulfillment, as they were partakers of the victory won for them by Jesus Christ through his death and resurrection.
You see, many of us in this world are Escorts. Not that because God created us as Escorts, but by the way we behave, the company we keep, and the decisions we make in life. We have turned ourselves from originals that God created us into imitations.
Testimonies of friends, family, and associates, as well as biography of the deceased, described the late Akwabongawan Grace Nyang as a meek and amiable personality whose humanitarian disposition endeared her to many people and organizations. According to her biography, the late Obongawan did not only excel in her chosen fields of endeavor but broke several records. She was said to have been the first woman to hold and occupy an elective position in Akwa Ibom State as councillor in the then Nsutubium local government under the National Republican Convention NRC, a co-signatory to the communique that gave birth to the present Nsidibom local government area, one of the founding members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Akwa Ibom State, as well as a state woman leader of the party. She was live member National Council for Women's Societies, President Nsidibom Women Association, Vice Chairman Traditional Rulers Council, member Ibibio Elders Forum, Eso Mbongiban Akwa Ibom, among others.
I will walk in the presence of the Lord, in the land of the living. I will walk in the presence of the Lord, in the land of the living.
It was also in recognition of the late Atai Akwa Obawan's devotion to God and commitment to the development of a church that the St. John's Parish, Uyo, earlier held a vigil mass in her honor. According to her only child and daughter, Barrister Ekaite Omana, her late mother would greatly be missed for her motherly disposition towards everybody she met, irrespective of tribe or color, as well as teaching through example that women could be successful in all aspects of life.
She was so protective, yet she did not spoil me. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to live life as a living life. I want to say, I love you, Mom. You are one in a million, Mom.
The remains of the late Atai Akwa Obawan Grace Edwariano were later interred at her country home at Ekwenigbansep in Nsidibom local government area.
Code of Conduct Tribunal again adjourned Saraki's case. U.S. presidential hopeful Jim Weber opts out from Democratic Party nominations, may consider independent candidacy. Details of this and more in our national and foreign news package with Samuel Ayara.
Senate President Bukola Saraki's case with the Code of Conduct Bureau has again been adjourned to November 5th and 6th. The judgment, according to the tribunal chairman Danladi Umar, followed the pending judgment of the appeal court on Saraki's trial. Saraki is facing a 13-count criminal charge bordering on false asset declaration preferred against him by the Code of Conduct Bureau. Meanwhile, the Senate on Wednesday deferred screening of ministerial nominees to next legislative sitting. In a bid to strengthen institutional discipline, the Nigerian Army has set up a high-powered board of inquiry to investigate alleged malpractices and involvement of its personnel in the 2014 Ekiti and Osun States governorship election. The Army also charged the board to extend their investigations to similar instances in other states with such allegations during the 2015 general elections to prevent future unprofessional conduct from members. U.S. presidential hopeful Jim Webb has ended his Democratic Party presidential nomination run, saying he may consider an independent bid. Speaking at a press conference at the National Press Club, Washington, Webb stated that the Democratic Party has moved away from millions of dedicated, hardworking Americans. He opined that America's democratic culture was under siege due to the power structure and source of funding employed in financing both political parties. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has flown to Moscow for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is viewed internationally as his chief sponsor. The visit is expected to center on coordinating military actions in Syria to exterminate terrorist extremist groups and allow Assad consolidate his hold on power.
You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45U, on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. That's our package for this morning. But before we go, another look at the top stories. The state government is to institute an attitudinal evaluation award for nurses to boost their commitment to duty. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Dominic Okpong, announced this during the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives 2015 Quadrennial State Delegates Conference, Akwa Ibom State Council. We also brought you a report that the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs has begun sensitizing people on the Dakada initiative. That was the news. Thank you for watching and do have a blessed day. Good morning.